Okay, this is question 7.3, the last question of the financial mass, and I'm going to show you two ways to do it. The first way is Miss Olker's way, and now when I'm looking at it, I think maybe it's a pretty good way. One thing she decided to do is to draw a timeline, which is really good, of all the story that's up here. There's this person, Kit, and they invest a certain sum of money for 5 years. The investment earns 12% compounded monthly for the full term. She withdraws $2,000 after 18 months, 1.5 years. After 5 years, at the very end, this is the value of the money. Well, this is the way Miss Olkers did it. She went, okay, I'm going to start with a certain amount, and I'm going to pretend that it actually went right to the end. The total amount went right to the end, P. Right to the very end. Yeah, that's where she goes. P. She runs it right to the very end for the entire 5 years, 12%. But hey, you wouldn't have that much money. You know that because you took out 2,000, if you took out 2,000 Rand, then you'd lose the 2,000 Rand gaining interest for 3.5 years. So you wouldn't get that money. You wouldn't get the 2,000 or the interest that it made for that 3.5 years. Well, that equation should work. The money you end up at the end, the money you start with, if you went the total minus the 2,000 for 3.5 years. And then she just solved that equation. She took this 2,000, this thing here, she added it, she got that amount. And then she had this, she just took that, divided there, and she got divided both sides by the 1 plus 0.1212 to the 60, and she got the amount that she started with. Well, here's Mr. Rob's way. Now, I should have drawn a timeline because it helps you to think about it. Look at the way I did it. I figured it, well, kind of differently. I know I started with a certain amount to invest, and then it grew after 1.5 years. 18 months worth of interest. That's my first amount. That's my first amount. Now I know that that first amount, I took 2,000 away from it, and it grew for another 3.5 years, 42 months, to become that money at the end, that money at the end. Now, the way I did it is I divided by this, and I solved. I divided by the 1 plus 0.12, and then I added 2,000. I figured out that amount right there, exactly what the amount was that she raised. So I've got that. And then I went, oh, there's a certain amount, whatever that certain amount is, that I started with, it grew for 18 months to give me that amount. So from T0 to T1.5, that would be what P is. It would grow for 18 months to give me that amount that I just solved for. So I did that. There's the amount, P times this. I divide by that. Look, we get exactly the same answer. Now that I've explained it, I think I like Miss Olker's way better. But there you go. Both ways work.